Internal auditing of ISO 50001. Internal auditing of ISO 50001. Internal auditing is a cornerstone of ensuring continual improvement and compliance with the ISO 50001 energy management systems. And this video delves into the purpose, process, and best practices for conducting effective internal audits for ISO 50001, helping organizations maximize energy efficiency, reduce costs, and meet sustainability goals. Now, what is the purpose? What are some of the purposes of internal audits in ISO 50001? Now, internal audits assess the effectiveness of the energy management system, verify compliance with ISO 50001 requirements, and identify opportunities for improvement. Key objectives of ISO 50001 or internal audit of ISO 50001 includes ensuring compliance, identifying non-conformities, driving continual improvement, preparing for external audits, ensuring compliance. This involves verifying adherence to ISO 50001, legal and other regulatory requirements, identifying non-conformities. This involves spotting gaps in implementation that could hinder energy performance improvements, driving continual improvements. This involves uncovering areas for optimization in energy management practices, and preparing for external audits, ensuring readiness for certification or surveillance audits by third-party auditors. Steps for conducting internal audits. An effective internal audit process follows a systematic approach. First, audit planning. Now, this involves developing a comprehensive audit plan that outlines scope, which involves defining boundaries such as processes, locations, and time frame. Criteria, which include ISO 50001 requirement, internal procedures, and legal obligations. Objectives, which involves focusing on compliance, performance evaluation, and improvement. Then schedule, which involves establishing audit frequency based on organizational needs and past performance. Preparation. Now, this involves reviewing relevant documentation such as the energy policy, energy objectives, action plans, and previous audit reports, identifying high energy consumption areas and processes to prioritize during the audit, and then assembling a qualified audit team with the requisite knowledge of ISO 50001 and the organization's operations. Conducting the audits. Conducting the audits follows these 5 steps, which are opening meeting, interviews and observations, document review, and energy performance verification. 4 steps: opening meeting, interviews and observations, document review, energy performance verification. Now, opening meeting. Communicate the audit scope, criteria, and objectives to stakeholders at this stage. And this is the first step of the first thing to do before the audit. And the second is interviews and observations. This is at the audit stage. This involves engaging with personnel, observing processes, and gathering evidence. Reviewing documents, which is document review. This involves verifying that records such as energy performance indicators and monitoring data align with requirements. Energy performance verification. This involves assessing the effectiveness of energy saving initiatives and actions. Reporting. Now, prepare a detailed audit report that includes findings, non-conformity details, opportunities for improvement. Now, findings document. This involves documenting conformities, non-conformities, and observations, specifying issues, um, their impacts, and required corrective actions, highlighting areas to enhance energy management, that is, opportunities for improvement. Following up. Now, this involves ensuring that corrective actions are implemented for identified non-conformities. Now, you need to verify the effectiveness of corrective actions during subsequent audits or reviews. Best practices for ISO 50001 internal audits. We have risk-based approach, competent auditors, objectivity and independence, continuous learning, stakeholder engagement, and others. Now, risk-based approach. Now, you need to prioritize audits. This involves prioritizing audits on high energy usage processes or areas with past issues. Competent auditors. This involves training internal auditors on ISO 50001 requirements, energy management principles, and audits and audit techniques. Objectivity and independence. This involves ensuring that auditors are impartial and not involved in the areas being audited. Continuous learning. This involves using audit findings to refine audit methods and improve the energy management systems. Stakeholder engagement. This involves fostering collaboration with process owners and employees to create a culture of energy awareness. Common challenges and solutions. Common challenges and solutions. Now, the following are some of the common challenges faced by auditors during the audits. We have lack of auditor expertise. You need, in this case, in order to address this, you need to provide robust training and consider external support for initial audits. And resistance to auditing. Now, there's need to promote audits as opportunities for improvement rather than fault-finding exercise. Audit is not a fault-finding exercise, rather an avenue for discovering areas that requires improvement. So we need to paint the image that the essence of the audit is not to find fault, but to simply look for areas that may require improvement. And with this, there will be less resistance or zero resistance to the auditors during the audit process. While for the first one, lack of auditor expertise, this is something that the organization has to ensure by providing the necessary training. This may require considering some expert trainers outside of the organization to help them train their auditors. Then the third is inadequate documentation. In order to address this, you need to establish clear and concise documentation practices aligned with ISO 50001. Benefits of internal auditing for ISO 50001. The first benefit is enhanced energy performance, cost savings, regulatory compliance, certification readiness. Enhanced energy performance. This involves identifying inefficiencies and driving improvements, cost savings, reducing energy consumption and associated costs, regulatory compliance, ensuring adherence to energy-related legal and regulatory requirements, certification readiness, preparing the organization for successful ISO 50001 certification. Now, in conclusion, internal auditing is an indispensable tool for maintaining and improving the ISO 50001 energy management system. By following a structured approach and leveraging best practices, organizations can achieve energy efficiency, sustainability, and operational excellence. Effective audits not only ensure compliance, but also foster a culture of continual improvement and energy stewardship.